We're here downtown at Court Square Recordings. I want to say iconic, but I feel like we're kind of in that moment of making the icon, this incredible studio. I always tell people when we walk in, it feels like I've gone through the Doctor Who thing. You know what I mean? I've never watched it, but this is what I imagine if Doctor Who were a studio. We're in it live at WYXR. We just heard the Dead Soldiers. I was talking a little bit earlier to someone about, preparing for today, and someone said, are any of these guys veterans? Is that why this band is called that? I said, I have a pretty strong inclination that no. So
that's correct.
How about we start there? I mean, why is this band called the Dead Soldiers?
Well, at Lowe's, they actually have parking spaces for veterans, and so I do park in those spaces. I don't know.
Only at Lowe's?
Only if there's a veteran parking space, I will take it. If anybody asks me for my credentials, I will run away.
I'm gonna jump in. Yeah. Real answer. It's empty beer bottles, right? Yeah. That's like empty beer bottles, empty whiskey bottles, used up, cigarette butts, like just it's things that have been used up and put away. And also, clicks. We did it for the hate mail, definitely, because we got a lot of that over the years. So.
For sure. Well, this guy's wearing the wrong type of camouflage. So.
That's right.
But you are ready for battle.
That's true.
I'm ready for battle.
Or lasagna.
I'm ready for lasagna, for sure.
Absolutely.
I hate Mondays.
Well,
except for this one, because we just had fun.
That's right.
Well, we're not sure when everyone's going to be watching this. It could be any day and anywhere USA. If you've never been to Memphis, if you've not had the opportunity to see this incredible group, for those of you that hanging out, we had a bigger group earlier. Just introduce yourselves to the camera. All the people at home.
Hi, this is Paul Gillingham, drummer, Dead Soldiers.
Nathan Robb, keyboards and other things, Dead Soldiers.
Michael Jason, vocals, guitar.
Ben Aviati, vocals, guitar, sometimes banjo and other things. And then we're also missing Krista Roten, who plays violin, among other things, and sings. And we have Victor Sawyer, who was actually not here for the session today, but he's been a part of the band for a long time. He plays trombone. And then we've also got Tom Link, who graced us with his sexy presence today.
And Clay Qualls, who is in the other room right now. Clay!
Also, he doesn't want to
No,
talk.
he left with Krista.
Oh. Hey, Clay, you over there?
He's not the other.
Well, how'd the group come together? We got the name. How'd the group come together?
It was me, Mike, and Clay at the very beginning.
I think it's such a funny question because I feel like the answer for most people is like, oh, we decided to start a band.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew him and some the other people in the band, and then we were like, hey, you want to start a band? And then we did, and then we started a band.
Yeah, I think yes.
Yes.
Specifics.
I didn't know each other from other bands.
No, we all knew each other from other bands. Me and Mike and Clay started doing it, and then we kept one by one adding friends and people that we knew. We actually had to seek out Krista. I knew her a little bit from getting T-shirts made. She worked at Bluff City Sports, where we got a bunch of T-shirts made, and
we knew we wanted a fiddler.
Yeah, and we knew we wanted a violin, so we had to chase that down because we were a bunch of dumb rock and roll dudes. Didn't know.
We auditioned violin. One other violin player who, after practicing with us, never returned our text.
Come back.
That was our.
I couldn't imagine why.
Yeah. That was our Evan Williams days.
We were too weird.
Yeah.
Was it one of those things though, where like one of the three of you guys were like, I have these songs and I want each of you guys to be a part of this thing with me, or was it like we were just drunk at someone's house and someone was like, listen to the song that I wrote, and then everyone was like,
no, me and Ben started getting together.
Can I mess around with that?
Mike and I hung out all the time already, but we never played music together. And he was in a band, I was in a band. We hung out like all the time.
Yeah.
Over at my house, and then we were like, well, we should do something. And we were mostly playing metal stuff at the time, and we wanted to do something that was a complete departure from that because not bored with it, but just wanted to do something different.
What song was first?
Which one was first?
Yeah, what song was like the first song that someone brought to the table?
I remember It All Goes Black, and People Like You were really early on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking over this interview now.
I'm all for it. I promise.
It was two questions like, I've been in this band for like 14 years, and I was just like, oh yeah, what did happen?
And I'm surprised no one's asked yet for you to want to do.
Here we are. This is the first time. years of touring, and we just never even got to it.
Martyrs Park, that was really early too.
Yeah. I was gonna
Me and
say
Paul
Martyrs
actually
Park.
were in a band together before Dead Soldiers.
And me and Nate were in a band
Yeah.
together.
Galacticon.
This is a very complicated woven fabric, but it seems like everything is tightly wound and working. 15 years plus now of being
15, I
together.
think. Yeah,
Ish, yeah,
2011,
for sure.
15
wow.
this year.
Absolutely. Well,
14
congratulations.
for me.
14 for you.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's apparent because you didn't know the
You didn't know
origin
the
story.
first. Yeah.
I wasn't there for the origin comic to come out. Yeah, I always know that it was as old as my son is because he was born that year, and then I joined later that year.
Wow. Amazing.
Well, Paul is a drummer, so our general rule is you'll speak when spoken to.
Drummers.
But for the sake of this interview, we did give him permission to talk.
All right. Well, happy 15 years to everyone else, 14
Thank you.
years to you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Tell me, about, again, that fabric, that metaphor I was setting up before we got sidetracked a bit.
Yeah.
How does a band stay together that long? I know y'all toured quite a bit. What are sort of the tips, the tricks, the tools that have helped to keep this thing together?
Sheer
You have to break up for at
willpower.
least 2 years.
Yeah. You got to take some time apart. No, I think everybody's done a really good job of growing throughout the years would be the best way that I could say it. Everybody's been really encouraging each other to be better all the time. I feel that way anyway, and that we're all we're all really good friends and became really good friends and still are. So, yeah, my best friends in the world.
Yeah. That's. I think there's definitely like different types of musicians, and I've always defined myself as a band dude, and I feel like if you're a band dude, like being in a band is part of your lifestyle, and you want to be friends with the people that you collaborate with. I've known other musicians who are kind of like they're mercenaries, or maybe they're more interested in expressing their specific point of view or vision, but I want to collaborate, and I want to collaborate with a group of people that are all as emotionally invested in this project as I am. And I think that we, as cheesy as it sounds, I think that those kind of projects become like the families you choose. You know, you're all a bunch of weirdos, you're all a bunch of outcasts, and you finally find a group of people who bring out the best in you, and you feel like you can be yourselves around them, and that creates the context for you to be creative in a really cool way.
You know, we talked a bit about war and metaphor. I know that in the lyricism of the most recent project, y'all touch on sort of the antebellum South and bring some of that imagery forward to the present day. Have those themes always been underlying in your music and your presentation? And tell me a bit more about this most recent record and sort of what you felt in composing it, but what we're supposed to learn from it.
The answer, I think, is yeah.
Yeah, the answer is yes. Next question. I think that we're all Memphians, and I think that the context of, life in the South and life in Memphis is really defined by, specifically the Civil War, slavery, the civil rights movement. All of those things feel very present today, and I think are still informing the kind of larger conflict of American life. And in many ways, it feels like, that war never truly ended, because we should have hung those. Can I curse?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have killed all the Confederates after the end of the war. We should have just fucking killed them, but we didn't, and they had kids, and their kids had kids, and those assholes are destroying the country now.
We can curse, but we might have just gotten flagged by the algorithm.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, put me. I'm already on some sort of a list.
If we have low views, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Or high views.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, so in many ways that idea is wrapped up in that, and I think like there's this weird distance that we have from history. I thought about the idea of like growing up, I would go to Civil War battlefields with my family on vacation, and then you'd go to the gift shop afterwards, you know? And it seemed really bizarre
Such
that
a weird thing.
yeah, there's a war. There was a battle here, and now I'm going to get a T-shirt, you know? And I think that in many ways we created a distance between our recent past in a way that kind of obfuscated the reality of the ways in which our society and culture were still being defined by these conflicts.
I think within the heartbreak, the tragedy, and the loss, there's absurdity. You draw on both, and you weave them together, and I think that's what we do over and over again.
Yeah.
And we do it pretty well, I feel like. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Are there ever any strong reactions to that content?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's okay. We want strong reactions. Choose your journey.
You can be provoked or entertained.
Sure.
Pick one.
Well, and then occasionally some of the content just goes straight over people's heads too. That also happens.
That's
where-
fun.
I'll take
Yeah,
the money.
That's fine too.
for sure.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Yeah,
They
I
buy
mean,
records. You know,
You can listen to the lyrics, or you can just hear the music.
I feel like Nirvana had a song about that.
Well, I know over the course of 15 or 14 years, there's been quite a lot of, I won't say quite a lot, I wasn't there with you, but, I understand that
You were in
there-
spirit.
Yeah, well, thank you. There were obstacles to overcome, as a collective. What was it like getting back in the studio for this most recent record? Is it just like riding a bike, or when you take time apart and go through some of these ups and downs, is there sort of a necessary period of level setting and sort of retooling how to move forward?
Oh man. I feel like I can answer this pretty clearly. Recording that record was the smoothest recording experience we've ever had. And I think a lot of it was rooted in that when we were playing 100 shows a year and, trying to make a living in earnest playing music, which we're not anymore, but please still buy our stuff. The expectation of making anybody other than ourselves happy was just kind of thrown out the window this time. And we kind of, for the first time, made a record that was just what we wanted to make. Without any respect to whether or not the audience likes it or not. Hopefully they do, but I'm just happy with what we ended up with.
I feel like
Yeah.
our working process drew a lot on that growth you mentioned. We worked, I think, better and faster than we have before, and it was, I think, a real joy to get in the writing room and then again into the actual recording room. When we worked with Matt Qualls on this project, and he's just a delightful dude to work with.
Everybody was ready to say yes to any ideas, and everybody was happy with editing, like on the cutting floor. So we would just run a song, and someone would be like, "Not like that. Let's try it like this," and we do it like that. And if it worked, we'd go with it and not ask too many questions about why. Just
There was one moment, probably 10 years ago, when we were in the studio, and we got into like a band-wide argument over the bridge to a song. It was just the bridge, and how many chords were in the bridge, and that was definitely like that was a moment that we almost broke up.
we scrapped 2 full weeks of recording and threw all the songs away, and then came back like a couple months later.
And yeah, I think through that experience, we were like, well, that sucked.
Not
Like,
like that, maybe.
that wasn't fun. And it's way more fun to do this when the attitude is like, you know what? Sure, let's try it and see if it works. And generally, when you do that and you skip all the arguing, you play it and it works or it doesn't, and everybody ends up on the same page.
And it wasn't even just like in the studio. There was like all of the months beforehand, just the way that we were kind of approaching lead up to finishing the songs that we had started years and years ago was like the second that we feel good about it, we're going to record it on our phone and we're going to put it away.
Yeah, we didn't keep
'Cause it's
practicing
over.
before the studio for the first time.
We have for the past 15 years. Every time that we start to do some pre-production, we will beat a song into the ground and pick it apart until by the time we get to the studio, we already hate it. Like it's already kind of like, I'm so tired of this song. We've been fighting about it for months. And this time it was like, once we got it locked in, that first good time we played it all together, we're like, that's it.
Cool.
Let's
Record
stop.
it. We'll relearn
And then
it when
we
get to the
did not
studio.
play it
Next time.
again until we got in the studio. So it was still fresh. It was still fun. And so there was no arguing about it in the studio. Like, once the take was good, there was no like expectation that was, through the
Nobody
roof.
was married to a part.
No one was married to anything. We were just like, if it feels good, let's just finish it. And we did. And it's the most organic sounding, not like organic, it just feels very good to listen to that record and be like, damn, that sounds awesome. And you can feel that kind of joy in the record.
Yeah.
And then we all kissed.
It was as friends.
I mean,
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
as friends, dude.
And some like over the pants.
It's platonically.
All right.
Well, I know that each of you are Memphis music fans and nerds. Is there a person, and I'll leave a little leeway. I'll give you maybe even two if you feel like it, that you can think of that you summon in the studio in your own spirit, like a Memphis music spirit animal?
yeah, I'll answer mine right away. And it's, I'm sure there's 100 other guitar players in Memphis who are going to say the same thing to this question as Dave Cowser. Just watching Dave Cowser play at the Buccaneer all those years. And I was fortunate enough to play for a minute with Amy Levere after he left the project. And I had to kind of go behind him and play some of his parts, which was really, really awesome and gave me more appreciation. I only got to play with him a couple of times, but he's definitely my biggest Memphis guitar inspiration, for sure.
Awesome.
Jeff Buckley. We pay him an homage on our first record, but he is, I think, to a lot of us, a really great inspiration, and certainly not from Memphis, but he, called this place home when he died, and I just think he's great. I think we all think he's great.
The first person that pops in my head, maybe not so much stylistically, but Steve Cropper. Love Steve Cropper, and it was just a guy that never overplayed. Always played exactly the right thing for the moment, and I've always been inspired by those kinds of musicians.
It sucks. You guys all had really good answers. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Say Elvis.
Yeah, dude, I love Elvis.
Egypt Central, bro.
No, I didn't have this I didn't really give a shit about any sort of local history until I was later in life, and so I never really thought about any of this stuff until way later. Really, not until I started hanging out with you guys, because y'all are at least 2 or 3 years older than me, and I feel like had between 2 and 9 years older than me.
Yeah.
So I don't know a lot of Memphians. I know a lot of people that I really respect that are still playing right now, like Sean Zorn, Graham Winchester. All those guys are powerhouses that are so professional, that play all the time, and I really respect them. And it was just more of a laid back vibe that I was trying to bring, and just trying to channel the kind of drummer that I wanted to be. But I don't know, is there any Memphians that you would tie to super chill Memphians?
I met Muck Sticky at his Subway in Bartlett.
Yeah.
At his Subway in Bartlett 20 years ago. And that experience really stuck with me.
All right. Well, what's next for the Dead Soldiers?
Another record.
Awesome.
Another record.
Playing some fun shows.
Yeah, playing some
Selling
fun
some
shows.
fun merch.
Playing River Beat.
There you go.
Yeah, we're playing Riverbeat. We're playing the Laughlin 10-year anniversary coming up.
We have been talking about a
Milwaukee show?
Milwaukee.
maybe.
this summer. I think so. Yeah. We've been talking about doing an instrumental record for a long time, and we've got some material ready for that. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's kind of a concept record.
For sure. Well, I know I'm excited to catch y'all at Riverbeat. Thanks for coming by live at WYXR here at Court Square Recordings, downtown Memphis, the mecca of Muck Sticky.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah.